Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Bent with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal, some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said in every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have Matt Tucker with us today. He is a country music artist from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Coming from a musically inclined family, he began playing in local honky-tonks with his father and soon broke out as a solo artist, playing acoustic gigs in the area. He then started along his journey to stardom. He enjoys spending time with his kids, grilling out for the game, and interacting with his fans.
And we're excited to have him on. So
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Doing good.
Doing
Yourself?
Awesome. Yeah, I try not to complain because you find out the older you get, nobody wants to listen. So I just smile and say, "Hey, no, no, all's good, all's good, all's good."
Yes.
Yeah, we understand that.
Absolutely.
I always like to start the show out kind of same way. Last few years have been rough for a lot of people, but especially entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
So how has all that affected you, and what have you done to kind of maneuver through this crazy time?
Yeah, so COVID was something this has been a typical, a very common topic. It seems. Yeah, COVID was hard for everybody. I know everybody experienced COVID differently. I'm sure they had to figure out ways to get through it and get by. And, especially for a musician, I got a lot of friends that do it, and, and some are very close to me and some are in my band. So yeah, it was hard. We definitely all experienced it differently. I think, for us, as far as my band goes, we play quite a bit of shows through the year. I mean, since I started doing this, I probably play at least 150 dates a year. And on Friday and Saturday, it's usually band gigs. The stuff in between would be maybe acoustic stuff with just me or me and another one of my guys. But I kind of stopped with the band stuff, and then there was ups and downs to where, they want us to be quarantined, and then we go out of quarantine, and then COVID would spike again, and then we go back to quarantine. So, there was that one point where we thought things were going to pick back up, and then all of a sudden we're shutting back down again. And, for me, I still did play some. I just knew a lot of people around my area and where I started playing, and they got tired of being quarantined, and they'd have a party, and they'd call me and be like, "Hey, listen, we can't have the whole band because we'll probably get in trouble. But hey, will you come play, and we'll take care of you?" So I still made ends meet certain ways, but for the most part, I think like a lot of musicians, we got stuck not playing and got stuck at home and almost forced to do the government handout, and I didn't want to do it, and I tried not to as long as I could, and so I got back to it quickly. At the same time, I can't, prior to doing music full time, which I left the corporate world the very end of 2015, and I kind of started doing my own thing along with music. One thing I got into was roofing, and during quarantine. I started my own roofing company, which that was hard too. But as things came out, I had something else to do, and that was kind of my, if I can't play a show, I can try to work. So, that was something that I was able to do because it was basically an outdoor job. It's not an easy job, but it helped me make ends meet. So that was kind of me, getting through COVID, and then obviously shows started picking back up eventually. Venues started opening, and stuff like that. And at the same time during COVID, I did a lot of songwriting, and also, I guess one reason we're talking is I got new music coming out that I've been recording. So, I tried to stay busy. So
now you're still based in Rock Hill area, right?
I am back in Rock Hill, which is basically the Charlotte, North Carolina. We're a suburb. I've been in and out of Nashville since I recorded my first time I ever stepped foot in the studio, which was nerve wracking for me back then. Because I got in the music business later in life. I didn't do it as a teenager and start really young and learn how to play guitar really young and stuff like that. I basically got into it later. And so my first thing in 2013 was my first time in a studio, and I've been writing in Nashville for about a year or so. So since back then, I've been in and out of Nashville. With me having a family, having kids, running a business, working as well, trying to make this work so I can do this dream.
Mhm.
It's never been easy for me to just pick up and leave permanently.
Yeah.
So I've always made it work to where I schedule things out while I'm there. I try
Is
to
that
be
a
there.
future plan? Eventually, be based in Nashville.
If it works out, it's not. I think today if you're going to songwrite, you got to be there. If you're going to be a songwriter, which I love writing, don't get me wrong. That's one of my passions too. That's something I can do forever. If I lose my voice, I can still write a song. So, but as far as the artist thing goes, you got to still have a presence there. You got to be there. My team's there, my producer's there. I record there in Nashville. If it works out one day and I can be there, absolutely. But it's for me, it'd have to be where I still have a home base and Nashville is my other home, basically type deal. So
just kind of live
it'd be
both
great.
places.
I'd love to be able to walk out the house and call a buddy and be like, "Hey, meet me down in Midtown. Let's talk about the next thing and grab a drink and talk about what we're going to write." That'd be great. So
yeah, we're planning on hopefully moving out to Nashville next year.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, very good. Awesome.
We love it there. And what's funny is Nashville. I tell you, it's a uniqueness in its own category. I remember our first time visiting Nashville last year. We, as a family, and none of us had never been there. Our little 10-year-old, we're walking down almost to Broadway, and this was his first experience, our first experience.
Yeah, he was 9 then.
We get in front of honky-tonks Central, and one of the band members that was playing that day seen Lil Chris and told somebody to give him this drumstick. So they walked out on the sidewalk and said, that guy said give us drumsticks. So we thought that was cool. Then we walk across the street to Dirk, and we're listening to the band play at Dierks Bentley Road. And as we're listening, the singer, she looks down and sees a drumstick in his hand. She jumps down and tells our little one, "How would you like to play a song with us on the drums?" So they drag him through the window of that, put him on stage in front of however many. I mean, it was packed house.
Cheering crowd.
However many that place holds, but it was packed, cheering him on as he hits the drums while they play "Summer of '69."
Yes, for the whole song.
Yeah,
and that was the first night we were there.
Yes.
Yeah, Broadway's something else, man. I got a lot of friends that play down there, and I've played Broadway. It's very fun and interactive, and it's definitely a thrill. And I've seen that stuff like that happen, and it's very, very cool. So,
and what's funny is every time we were down there, he'll hold that drumstick, hoping it happens again.
Yes, he ended up with another trip at
Not on it, but he did end up with another drumstick. So now he's got two, and now he carries
them everywhere he goes in Nashville.
That's awesome.
So, a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to do music? I always like to go deeper than that. When did it click for you that this could be a career move?
I don't know that that was a thing, but here's how I got into it. So my grandfather played bluegrass and stuff when I was little. I remember going to Maggie. Well, I didn't go to Maggie Valley then because he was kind of out of that, but he used to play Maggie Valley before I came along. That was a big bluegrass area. But I remember being little and I seen his bluegrass band. I don't even know where it was at. I was this little, but it was somewhere in the Carolinas. And this is like when Alan Jackson first came out and he was playing some festival and they opened up for Alan Jackson. I distinctly remember it just because I remember there was a walkthrough gated area that we had passes or whatever it was to walk through. I remember, I think my dad was holding me and we walked up through to the front of the stage. I was able to see my grandfather and then also got to see Alan Jackson really close. I had no idea who that guy was at the time. Of course, I was probably too young to even know. But I knew he just started out after he, I guess he signed his first record deal or whatnot. And anyway, so then my dad also played as I was growing up. He'd be in and out of playing. He never pushed like want to go pursue it as a career, but he always had fun with it, So I kind of grew up around music, and I guess back in 2008. My son was coming along, my first son. He's now 14. So I say I picked the guitar up about 15 years ago. So when he came along, me being younger into the first coming, I'm not far out of school and going to the workforce, and you know, it's not like I'm abundance of funds. So I was stuck at the house a lot, and it was eating me up because back then, I wanted to be around my buddies, hanging out because I'm still fresh out of school. So. But at the same time, we're all working and doing our thing. But anyway, so I'm at the house, and I just couldn't really do much, and decided, at that time, I'd also been just tickling the idea of like, I was getting like karaoke CDs and stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just having fun, and anyway, I decided, it'd be cool if I could play guitar and do this too. So I basically looked up some YouTube videos. First I asked my dad about teaching me. He said, "Well, I can show you how to hold these chords and position your fingers and stuff, but if you don't want to sit down and learn it, I can't just, make you do it." So
Oh,
I said,
wow.
"All right, well, show me that, and I'll teach myself." And he said, "All right." I said, "If I teach myself, you got to agree that you're going to help me start playing out somewhere."
Yeah.
I taught myself, and 6 months later, after picking it up, we were booking our first gig at a VFW.
Wow.
Mhm.
So I started playing out with my dad, and then as time went along, for me, when I get involved, especially if I'm about it. So
Yeah.
I just kept pursuing it, kept pushing, put my first band together. These guys that I call my first band that I was able to kind of book steady, they were all seasoned guys, and we all got along really well. They liked me and wanted to help me, and we started growing out of my area of Rock Hill, and just started going along and playing all over the Carolinas and going up into Virginia and just venturing out, and it grew to that. And then as times went along, band members come and go, and I we're recording albums. Or I did my first EP in 2013. Then I did another project 2015. I did another project in 2017. Did a couple singles in between, and now we're here to this new album. So I guess for me, when it clicked, is I would go back and say 2015. I knew things were coming to a headbutt with my career job that I had and the music life, because luckily the job I had, I was working 4 10s. So I was working Monday through Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So Thursday night, I would book an acoustic gig. Friday and Saturday, we were gone, and so that worked out for the longest time. But so that was probably, I guess, 4 years into that. And as 2015 comes along, and it was just some things going on in my career job. And then, me knowing that I got to put more time and invest more time into this music if I'm going to go any further, or I can be happy with what I'm doing. But then I'm like, why not? So I took the leap of faith, and, I had people discourage me. I had people, have my back on it. And in the end, I just sat down by myself and prayed about it. And then I went with my gut, because that's, for me, I run a lot of stuff on my gut, and my gut feeling felt good.
Yeah.
I pursued it, and I guess that's what you would call the click for me. Once I mean, and it was scary. I mean, I was really.
And speaking of that, that's a perfect lead in where I want us to go, because as a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to get to high levels within music. And I always want to talk about that, because I think that's one of the things that people gloss over a lot within the industry, of how hard it really is, especially for the newcomers, to get to that next level. So take a few moments and let's talk about that side of it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a grind. You from how I kind of got in the game to now, and and I'm not knocking anybody or anything about this, but you got a lot of TV shows now, and so there's and then you got the internet. The internet is way more broad than it was when I started. I mean, when I first started, the Apple, like the whole download thing was kind of just, I mean, it was there, but it hadn't long been there. So it was still you had to go burn an album. You had to go cut an album and sell a CD to do that, and and of course, by the time I got my first album or my first project out in 2013, it was the hybrid thing. So we still made CDs, but there was only downloading available. There wasn't really a
Yeah.
streaming thing. It just started integrating. If it was the streaming thing back then was the pirate people that were doing it for free.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like it is now where everything's stream. I mean, you can still download, but it was, So I mean, yeah, I mean, just that whole thing. I mean, you see, like I was saying with the shows and stuff, and the way the internet's come. I mean, there's so many outlets to get recognized quickly, and like with me,
That's also a double-edged sword, though, I think, because one thing I've learned within the music business of talking with so many executives
mhm,
is that one of the problems that, that yes, you can get seen quick, but it's to keep that traction because, where before you were competing with on local levels and all that. Well, now because of the internet, you don't have a few hundred people. You have thousands and thousands and thousands that can do the same thing. So
yeah,
then you go, years ago you could walk into a record label. If they hear you sing and they like you, they'll sign you right on the spot. That ain't happening anymore. Only way a label you come in, before they even hear you, what following you have. If you ain't got no following, no, we don't want you.
and that's where I was kind of going. I came up with the whole mindset of paying your dues and
Mhm.
burning up the honky tonks. And like, I guess when I started, we kind of was like, let's just take the longest, hardest route and hope a shortcut comes along the way. Because if anything, I'm going to grow and as an artist and performer, So and you're right. Like, if you don't have that big following, they want you to be developed and it's like you said, double-edged sword. At the same time, I think everything happens for a reason, and time is right. It's going to happen. Either way for anybody. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fun, interesting industry. I'll tell you that. I've seen a lot.
And from our side, even though we're not artists, we're still chasing that same type of dream. You are just different platform because we want to be the
Exactly.
Bob Bones of Ty Bentley. So we see a lot because we interviewed him over 500 people now in 2 years. We have heard a lot, seen a lot. We've seen the good, the bad, and of course the ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes everybody. It's not just one sided. The whole industry. Everybody's got a part, and it takes the whole thing to run the beast. So.
And you got a new album that's out or coming out. Tell us a little bit about that, and tell us
Please
about the
do.
song that you're going to perform for us, the first song.
Yeah, so this album, I call it an album because we went in, actually started out just coming in doing 6 songs, and then we ended up with 13 by the time we were done.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, and a lot of these songs were written during COVID, with my first time ever doing a virtual co-write. A few times during COVID, and then I had some that I was kind of sitting on that I'd done demos of in Nashville and stuff. And this album was recorded during COVID, and it also came from I partnered up with the National Cancer Assistance Foundation down in Florida, and it started out as a business proposal to try to write a song for them, which I did do.
Wow.
And we put it on the album, and then it just it turned into a fun project too because I started working with a new producer, got into one of the top studios in Nashville and mix and mastered everything, and it's ready now. So we've released one single, and we did that on May 2nd, and it was kind of my birthday present because my birthday was May 4th, so we decided to go with a Monday to get away from the overcrowded New Music Friday and it's doing well. I mean, people are listening, loving it, getting a lot of great feedback. We got plans for a music video coming up at one of my regular venues in South Carolina. Going to do like a lake scene type deal, nice big outdoor staged amphitheater setup type thing, and it's going to be cool. That song that's already out that we're doing this video for, it's called My Kind of Time.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You can find it everywhere. So yeah, so that's kind of we're there. We got more. I'm I plan to put more singles out and videos, and hopefully we're gonna try to do something and approach, on a bigger scale and see what we can do with the rest of this music. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, the floor is yours.
Awesome.
hopefully so we'll see what happens.
So the floor is yours for the perform.
Well, yeah. So I've got my guitar, and so like I was saying, the new single is called "My Kind of Time."
Yeah.
Doing pretty good for us. So check it out. This is me and a guitar, the raw version. This would be your experience of what happened when I was writing this song without stopping if I don't mess up. My Kind of Time. Picture you and me in the middle of nowhere. Won't it feel so good to be wild and free? I just can't shake it. My hands are shaking. My heartbeat is racing. You got me going crazy. Let's get lost together forever. Make history. Drop everything, let me take you on a country ride. So come on, baby. You can be my Bonnie Ride. Shawty, I'll be your Clyde. So hold on, baby. We'll run from town to town. Light 'em up and shoot 'em down. Love it when you smile and singing whiskey bitten hellbound. When you look my way, I think about the rest of my life. Oh yeah. Killing every minute with you, that's my kind of time. Steal my heart, still a kiss, feel my love. Drunk on you, drunk on me, love this buzz. I never seen this coming until I saw you going. I gotta get to know you. You gotta let me show you the happiest ever after there ever was. Drop everything, let me take you on a country ride. So come on, baby. You can be my Bonnie Ride. Shawty, I'll be your Clyde. So hold on, baby. We'll run from town to town. Line 'em up and shoot 'em down. Love it when you smile and singing whiskey bitten hellbound. When you look my way, I think about the rest of my life. Killing every minute with you, that's my kind of time. Yeah, drop everything, let me take you on a country ride. Come on, baby. You can be my Bonnie Ride. Shawty, I'll be your Clyde. So hold on, baby. We'll run from town to town. Line 'em up and shoot 'em down. Love it when you smile and sing whiskey bitten hellbound. When you look my way, I think about the rest of my life. Killing every minute with you, that's my kind of time. Acoustic version.
Oh, love it. Peace
Thank
out.
you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. So that, like I said, it's on all digital media, wherever you listen to music. Check it out, Matt Tucker, My Kind of Time.
And you said you was going to let us preview something real quick too.
Yes. So I've not done this yet. I just kind of got.
Oh, wow.
Just thought, why not? I mean, we got the new single out. Don't know if this is the next one, but this is part of the project we recorded during COVID. And like I was mentioning before, working with the National Cancer Assistance Foundation, going in and me and my lady, went and took a little trip during COVID to get away. She works remote, and I was kind of doing the same at the time. And we went and got away, got an Airbnb in Mount Airy, North Carolina, up near Virginia. If nobody knows what that is, Mount Airy is actually where they filmed the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's, if you go to Mount Airy, you can kind of vacate there, like go on a vacation, and the town's kind of set up like the old Mayberry on the TV show. But we got a little cabin there in the foothills, and she helped me write this song. I did a lot of the work, but she helped me finish it. And this is the song I wrote for the Cancer Foundation, and basically it's for cancer, but it's also just an inspiration to you can get through this. So this song is called "Can Survive." We'll give you a little verse and a chorus.
Okay.
This world is big, revolves on love, not always fair. At times it's tough, just keep your faith. Believe a little, head down, eyes up to the sky. Dark will fade into the light, even when you're weak. Maybe on your knees, take that time to say a prayer. There's no fear with the man upstairs. Hold on, don't let go. When the pain just won't end, just know that you can survive this. Survive this.
Oh, great. Love it.
Thank you. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if that one's coming out next or not, but we got plans for all of them, all 13, to do something. And videos, singles coming out. Just, if you like what you hear, we appreciate you following along and keep up with me. All my handles on social media are either @ or whatever, but they're all Matt Tucker Music. So three T's there.
Right. Yeah.
And then the website's matttuckermusic.com. If you go there, you'll see schedules and all the good media and stuff like that to keep up with everything. So
love that. Now, speaking of all this, it takes a village to do what you do.
It really does.
In our opinion, the team never gets any love.
They don't.
But on our show, they get love. So take a few moments and tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
So here's another thing that happened out of COVID. With working with this new producer, I was introduced to Miss Paula with Ablaze Entertainment.
She's awesome.
And I'll tell you, like, it's the little time we've had together as far as trying to get things going and getting this she was totally a part of this whole single, putting everything out, and we get together and make decisions with each other, and everybody's happy with what's going to happen. But that is a workhorse team, and Miss Paula will get it done. So so far,
she'll get on to people if they don't.
Yes, I listen. I'm telling you, I was raised to listen, and that I listen to her. So yeah, it's been a great experience, and we look forward to keep moving forward, and let's just keep growing this thing. And like I said, keep up with us. We would love to see you hang around and be a part of our, if you want to call it fan base, I like to call it friend base. So
I love that.
That's great.
Speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our 10-year-old, that we bring on to ask a couple questions. So Sandy's going to go get him.
I'll get it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've got a 3-year-old daughter that when she gets older, she'll be plugging into the show too, because we try to keep it within the family.
Cool. That's awesome. Very good. Yeah. My son actually plays, and he's doing really well. He's first year trumpet in school in the band, and doing state band and playing sports. But he plays guitar and piano and stuff like that, and he's
another
showing
generation.
A lot of interest. Yeah, hopefully I'm not going to push anything on him. Let him do his thing, and if it happens, he's got a good outlet to get him started. So,
and you've got the contacts for him.
Yeah. What's up, bud?
That's going good. Hi, Master. What's your favorite food?
What's my favorite food?
Yep.
My favorite food, man. I'm a food fanatic. So my other thing, other than music, what I like to do is cook. So I'd say everybody loves pizza. That's a common answer, but I would say my favorite thing to cook and eat is a steak. Got to be steak on the grill, and then chicken will be my second favorite thing to eat.
Because everybody's favorite's his. Because what's yours?
Pizza.
Yeah, exactly. I love pizza too, and I'm particular about it too. So if I'm ordering to go pizza, like from a commercial chain, it's got to be Papa John's for me. So
It's Little Caesars for him.
oh, I love Little Caesars too.
I keep joking. I was like, we need to get them to sponsor us, and he can. When people say, "Well, what's your favorite kind?" He can say Little Caesars pepperoni or whatever, and it would be true. So it wouldn't be like we'd be stretching the truth; it'd be truth. So.
Absolutely, yep, for sure. Yeah, you can have your slice ready right here. Hold your slice in your hand.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
So, what's your favorite TV show?
TV show. Right now, I don't watch a whole lot of TV because I'm usually so busy or doing music or something. But I really got into Yellowstone when I would sit down and watch TV. Or either that or it's on the music channel, watching music videos.
Because what's yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, dude. I haven't watched that in forever. That was on when I was a kid, though. So
Yep, same here. And it's still got new ones coming.
yeah, for sure. Yep, still a big hit.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie?
Man, that's a good one. If I tell you, okay, so my all-time favorite, I was a big Back to the Future fan, so I'm big on like the whole trilogy of Back to the Future, and I love the Star Wars stuff and stuff. But if I had to pick one, it'd be Back to the Future.
Because what's yours?
Mine is Minions.
I hear you. I've seen that.
They've built a really strong brand, I tell you.
Yeah, and it's funny, man. I giggle whenever I've watched it with my kids. So I think it's
sometimes
it's
we catch ourselves still watching it after him and little Caitlin has quit watching it. We're like, we're still watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right, bye. Thanks.
See you, bud.
He's been on almost every episode.
That's awesome.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Artist,
And it could be artist, songwriter, whoever. But what would be your idea?
I would say this is probably a hard question for a lot of singer-songwriters, artists. If I had to pick one, so I'm a big Alan Jackson fan. My dad was an old school country guy, but as far as me growing up, I grew up 90s music was the foundation of my life, no matter what genre. And Alan was one of the bigger 90 artists that my dad really liked. So when I was with my mom and dad, that was playing, and plus he was always on the radio. And again, like I told you, my grandfather opened for him when I was really little. So that was always stuck in the back of my mind. So I would definitely want to write a song with Alan Jackson because he's a great songwriter and he's a big influence on my career. Just my music period. But I mean, I like so many different artists, so many different genres. I mean, if you start researching my music and listen to what's coming out, you'll hear all these different influences of not just artists and songwriters, but genres too. That because I mean, like that song I just played you, My Kind of Time. If you go look it up, it's pretty rocking. I mean, a lot of people might go, "That's rock and roll." Yeah, it is. I like rock and roll. I like it all. I mean, but then I got songs coming out that are just straight up honky-tonk country music too. So, and then some of it leans towards R&B, and some of it, leans towards pop. It's just whatever I feel.
At the time.
So yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one all time, I'd probably say I'd love to write with Alan Jackson. But I mean, the list could go so far. I could talk your ears off about who I would write with.
So what's a song you've heard that you wish you wrote?
I'm gonna go with a current one. either Doing This by Luke Combs or Till You Can't, Cody Johnson.
Oh, love
That,
those.
I
Those
love
are,
the Till You Can't.
yes,
That one
that's a
just.
great, great song.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember when I the very first time heard that, I was like, "That's going number one."
Yeah, we were like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
It's a great song.
And great guy too, Cody.
Yeah, dude. I'm really happy for his success. He's one of those cats that's been doing it for a long time too, and it's good to see the grind pays off.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you don't want to get to a point where you're like, well, only people that get signed are the ones that make it big. You start to see other people
Right.
that they start to make it big before they ever get signed. And to me, that's the ideal artist, because then they control their destiny.
For sure. Yeah. In today's time, you can definitely make that happen. So yeah, that's definitely a plus, especially for guys like me. I mean, I'm independent, and I've did small things with indie labels and stuff like that, and management, and in the past, and not that it's just, sometimes things don't work out or don't prolong, but for me, I was like, it ain't gonna stop me. I'm still gonna do my music. I mean,
Yeah.
just what scale of listeners do I have, versus what can I get?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just keep grind, just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Back in 2015, we got to interview Kelsey Ballerini
We
before she
did.
was Kelsey.
Yeah.
And,
when
so
her
to
first
speak.
single was out.
And one of the questions I asked her was where she wanted to be in 5 years. And I always like to tell this story before I ask the guest that same question, because the answer she gave us was almost to the T of what she's living at. I mean, she knew where she was going. So where would you like to be in 5 years?
Well, this project that I've done during COVID, got this full album done. To this date, I will arguably say, sorry, my dogs are
Oh, no problem.
loud, but arguably say it's some of my best stuff that I've ever been a part of. Out of the 13 songs, I either solo wrote it or was a writer on it, except for one song.
Oh, yeah.
And that came from my songwriter network circle that I've been a part of since I started doing the Nashville scene. And
Wow.
so, I mean, I've got my projection with this music is I want it to be the best possible releases we can do, to be put out the most proper way we possibly can. So that's just where I'm at. Obviously everybody wants to reach and shoot for the stars, and we all want the big deal. But at the same time, as long as I'm doing it, making a living, happy, and just having fun with it, that's my biggest thing. But of course, we all want the big ticket, right? We want the golden ticket. We're going to the chop,
Now, speaking of the golden ticket, let's look 15 years down the road, and let's say that you are a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you consider yourself you've made it. What do you hope you don't forget?
Oh, sure. You stay humble to the game. I don't think I'll ever forget where I come from. Just because that's how I was brought up, and especially the way I've came up in the music business too. I didn't jump on board very quickly and get signed right off the bat or whatever it was. I spent a lot of time figuring myself out and learning the game and learning all these different, just how it works. And I don't know it all by no means and I don't think anybody really does. I mean, we're all just kind of taking stabs at whatever's going to work. And if it does, it does. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing is, don't forget where you come from, and just stay true to yourself. I don't think I could ever get too caught up in just the glitz and the glamour of trying to be something you're not, so. And that was a big thing with me and Paul and the Blaze. Is like, when it comes down to it, if I can't just be me, if somebody says, no, you need to do this, you need to change this. And like, well, I mean, if I was like 21, I might be like, okay, just to get that shot. But anymore, I'm like, I just want to be me. Let me just be me. And if it's likable and sellable, great. If not, I'm happy with it, and I feel good about it. And I think that's more important.
Like the song, I Gotta Be Me.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that?
As I like the song, I Gotta Be Me, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And what would you like for your legacy to be as an artist? What would you like to be most known and remembered for?
I, that's a hard question. I've never been asked that. I guess just staying true to what I am and believe in. And at the same time, I've done a lot of experiencing with my music and even just putting the stuff out. So, figuring out where I wanted to go with this is one thing, and just staying true to my people. I've always been big on just keeping home team happy.
Yeah.
And I guess that's for me, and just hopefully the people like my music, and that's the biggest thing is because I try to write, especially now I want songs that inspire people or change their life, makes this, it's not just that summer hit. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all want those.
Yes.
But, the ones that last and stick around for the longer time are like those songs that inspire people and ballads and stuff like that. So just knowing that I've touched somebody is the biggest thing.
If you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
Thank you so much. I mean, especially since things have picked up after COVID and working with, new management, new producer, a lot of things are going fast and hard to keep up with, but especially my true fan base has always been there. They're loyal. They stay with me. They help share things. They listen. They stream the music. They download it, and all the new people on board. Man, it's been awesome seeing and experiencing this. And I just want to thank everybody for giving me the time of day and just give me a chance. So
love that. So as we close out here, what advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do?
Well, it's a hard road. It can be a hard road. It can be an easy road. It's just one of them things. You got to decide if you really want to do it, or you might not know. Maybe you just got to try it. The biggest thing is like stay true to yourself, be humble. Nobody's gonna give it to you. You got to get out and go get it. And you're definitely going to find out if you do love this or if you don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. And if you're young and you can do it, and you really want to pursue Nashville, go to Nashville. Yeah. Just go to Nashville. Yeah. Don't ask no questions. Just go do it.
Especially if you're going to be a songwriter, you definitely got to.
I mean, yeah, it helps a lot. Period. Just go. And if you're young enough and you got an inspiration to be there and want to be there, I suggest going.
Awesome. So as we close out here, again, tell everybody how they can find you.
So my website is matttuckermusic.com. All my social media handles and music platforms, just type in Matt Tucker Music. All you got to do is Google it. Just go to Google, type in Matt Tucker Music, and you can find me. Now that you see my face a little bit, my pictures are up and everything. So if you go to the website, all the links are there on the website. Again, matttuckermusic.com. Just send me a message or connect with me on Facebook, and I do my best to get back and respond as quickly as possible. So yeah, just check me out.
Yeah. So we really enjoyed having you on the show today, and we definitely look forward to having you back.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys, Chris and Sandy, for having me on the show and taking the time and just listening to my long story.
We enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it. This is what we love. We live for this.
We do.
Awesome.
We love hearing the stories.
The world needs people like you to sit down and talk about it. So
we appreciate you, and we definitely look forward to having you back.
Yes. Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks so much for your time today.